Let me ask you something that may sound simple, but is shaping the foundation of our entire culture. What happens when right and wrong are no longer fixed but flexible? When your truth isn't the truth and morality becomes just a matter of opinion? Here's the answer. We don't just lose morality, we lose meaning. We don't just lose structures, we lose souls. History has shown us when right becomes wrong and wrong becomes right, destruction is inevitable. Not because of bad laws, but because of lost values. Moral relativism is the belief that truth and morality are not absolute, that right and wrongs shift based on culture, personal feelings, or social trends. And friend, it sounds tolerant on the surface, but it's toxic underneath. Why does this matter now? Because we are living in a time where clarity is considered offensive and conviction is mistaken for it. We are told to live your truth. But what happens when your truth destroys someone else's life? When a culture removes the compass of truth, it doesn't find freedom, it gets lost. And this isn't just about politics or philosophy. This is about leadership, legacy, and the future we are creating. You are welcome to this space. I'm Oluwagbero Ajayi. If this resonates with your values, go ahead and subscribe. We are building a community that lives with truth and lives with purpose here. Now we are going to explore 3 critical dangers of moral relativism. Why it is not just bad philosophy, but a pathway to collapse. Number 1. Moral relativism destroys moral clarity. Just imagine you driving in a city where the red light might means go, depending on how anyone feels that day. Sound chaotic, right? That's what happens in a relativistic culture. When truth is subjective, justice becomes selective. When religion lacks righteousness and morality is based on preference, evil disguises itself as choice. We see it today. Lying becomes reframing. Greed becomes ambition. Infatuation and lust becomes love. And slowly the conscience of a culture is going numb. And as scripture says, we become people with no understanding, no fidelity, no love, and no mercy. We can't fix what we won't define. And you can't correct what you are afraid to call out. Number 2 critical danger of relativism is that relativism weakens leadership. A leader without moral conviction is just a manager of popular opinion. The history's greatest collapse came not from lack of resources, but from lack of righteous leadership. Think of King Saul. He lost his way not because of strategy, but because he feared the people more than he feared God. In a relativistic age, leaders stop leading. They follow the crowd, follow the polls, follow the likes. But leadership isn't about being liked. It's about standing for truth, even when it costs you something. Leaders must live by a fixed standard. If you don't anchor to truth, you will drift with trends. If you don't anchor to truth, you are going to drift with trends. And people are watching. You don't need a platform to influence, you just need integrity. Number 3 danger of relativism is that relativism destroys identity and purpose. When there is no moral foundation, people forget who they are. They lose identity. They lose meaning. They lose hope. Relativism creates confusion at the deepest level because when anything goes, eventually nothing matters. A generation that's told there is no right or wrong eventually concludes then there is no reason to live. And no wonder the suicide rate is so high and alarming in this generation. And that's why we are not just in a moral crisis, we are in a purpose crisis. But here's the truth. God didn't create you to wander in crisis of confusion. God made you with intention for such a time as this, not to echo culture, but to lead it, not to blend in, but to hold in truth and love. So how do we live with clarity in a culture that's constantly shifting? Let me give you 3 practical actions to help you stay grounded. Number 1 is to define your non-negotiable. You need to write down your values. What are your beliefs? What are the things you believe is right? You believe is wrong? You believe is true? You believe is eternal? Ask yourself, what am I unwilling to compromise, even if it costs me approval? If you don't define it, culture will define it for you. Number 2, you need to anchor yourself on absolute truths. Absolute truth. Truth is not just a concept. Truth is a person. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Let scripture guide you, not trends, not feelings, not posts. Read truth, speak truth, live truth. Number 3 thing you need to do is to lead boldly and compassionately. Don't just believe truth, embody it. Truth without love is ash. Love without truth is hollow. Lead in your family. Speak up in your workplace. Mentor someone younger than you. Your courage will give others permission to rise. Let me leave you with a challenge. When right becomes wrong, the righteous must become louder. Not loud in volume, but louder in clarity, consistency, and conviction. Don't be afraid to speak the truth in love. The world may label you intolerant, but heaven will call you faithful. And hear me, this generation is hungry, not for entertainment, but for truth that anchors. For leaders who don't just know right and wrong, but who live it. Drop a comment below what truth you are choosing to stand for, no matter the cost. And if this message challenged you, don't just move on, subscribe. This isn't just a channel, it's a call to rise above the noise, to stand for truth, and to become the kind of leader this world desperately needs. When the foundation of truth is removed, even the strongest building will fall. So be a pillar, stand firm, live firm. Until next time, live with conviction, lead with courage, and love without compromise.